Hi, everyone. Welcome to Boldly Going Nowhere. I am one of your hosts, Ren Andromeda.
I'm Shell Shock, still your favorite unemployed Dabo girl.
And
I can't see with this thing on.
oh,
Nu se how la choke ji.
Ooh,
okay.
that was kind of sexy. What did you say there?
The bathroom is empty.
It is in
Oh,
fact
it
empty,
is
isn't it?
empty right
yeah.
now.
Okay, that's great. Well,
Good
thanks.
job.
Thanks, Captain. Too far.
Yeah, Commander.
Commander Too Far.
I'm just a fan today.
Okay, sure. Well, today we're going to be talking about the movie Trekkies. Trekkies 1, to be specific. Produced by Denise Crosby, who plays Tasha Yar. She's amazing.
Yay!
And
Tasha.
yeah, before we get into that, I just want to give a little rundown on how I found out about Trekkies. Got to give a shout out to, and I've mentioned her before on the show, my old goth girlfriend,
Dun, dun, dun.
Domini. Shout out to Domini, who back in the day, probably in the very, very early, like literally the year 2000, I would say, made me watch so many episodes of Star Trek, and against my will, and also
Tied you
Trekkies she made me watch. So that's how I knew about it. I think I watched it again.
Were you literally tied up at the time when
Yeah.
you watched Trekkies?
Yes,
Did I say I was tied
You
up?
did.
I did not.
You did.
I said that last time.
Wait, I think I
Oh,
said that. No,
oh.
I think I said it just
I
now,
just said she
too.
forced me to watch it against my
And-
will.
And then I, yeah.
That doesn't sound
And then,
bad.
and then I said tied her down.
But
that
s-
was me.
Well,
Mm.
and now you're gonna see us today as big Trekkies fans of Trekkies and Trekkies.
And this is all your journey began with your goth girlfriend.
So when-
Yeah,
that was
my-
your Trek
my
journey? That was
ex-goth.
your origin story. Was
Everything goes back to that ex-goth girlfriend.
ex goth girlfriend. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, it's
So
gonna be
you-
a great show.
Supposed
So
to be
you
wearing
saw
the
this.
glasses.
Was that?
That's I guess that's my intro. I don't know.
I thought we were just kind of
I don't know
rolling
what's
in.
happening.
Yeah,
here.
I don't know.
Do we want to start over? Was that all
No.
pretty bad?
No, we'll just
No.
keep going.
No,
Keep
it's-
going.
It's hopelessly awkward, like we are. So
Perfect.
It works.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw this in the early 2000s, like when it
yeah.
kind of first came out, like a couple years after
yeah.
it came out.
Yeah. Totally.
Because this was released in 1999.
No,
yeah,
it's
the year I
97. It
graduated
was
from.
97.
Okay, yeah. I graduated from high school in '99, so.
I thought it
Thanks,
came out
Evan.
in 99.
No,
Maybe not. I
okay.
don't know.
Well, Michelle can fact check.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
97.
'Cause I
Okay.
know some of the
checked.
stuff was filmed in like 96, 97. And some of the interviews used might have even been a little bit older than that. I don't recall.
Yeah. Yeah, and some of the convention footage and stuff.
97?
97.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when this came out, Deep Space Nine was still on. It was in its final season, maybe, or had just finished.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And then Voyager was in
there was
its
an overlap,
second season or
right?
third
Yeah.
season, somewhere in
Right.
there.
Wasn't
That
there
makes
some
sense because
overlap
they're
between-
interviewing Janeway in her uniform, so that makes sense.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
on set.
Yeah, she's on set.
But there was some DS9 Voyager overlap there at the end.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's
Couple
what I
couple
thought.
seasons.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Same with Deep Space Nine and TNG.
Mm.
Yeah.
They overlapped a couple seasons.
Okay, well, great. So I thought it was a great documentary.
That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Actually, what did you say to me, Shell? You said you were going to give me something of value, of great value, for making you watch this.
I did, but it's not that.
What do
kind
I
of-
get?
It's not that kind of show. So it's good.
We can't show it on here.
Yeah, not safer.
You said you
No.
something in your house of great value.
Me.
No, really, of great value.
Yeah, what do I get for getting you to watch
You know,
this?
I'll show you later.
Okay, well, some chicken or something.
Yeah,
So-
but it's really good chicken.
It is.
It's true. I know how to cook me some bird. Bird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
We'll edit that
Trekkies,
out.
what did you
We'll
think
edit
about
that
it,
out.
Commander Too Far?
Every time it just creates more work. More work.
What does?
The editing.
So, I had somehow never seen this. I'd heard of it.
And do you call yourself a Trekkie?
Well,
Psh.
maybe
Or-
I'm a Trekker.
I don't even know if I.
You would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, them's fighting words. Fighting words. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't remember that whole Trekker thing and how apparently contentious it got.
It was so like annoyingly nerdily contentious, you know.
And it was at the
The-
time.
the
Anymore,
semantics of it, I guess.
nobody cares. I don't think anybody cares. I don't even think anybody
I
brings
care.
it up
No,
anymore.
there aren't-
Trekker's
no.
stupid.
There are no. I feel like there are no new people saying in the new generation of Trek, "I'm a Trekker." It's just like
Nobody's
an
saying that.
action movie now or action show. They're
Yeah.
not like, "I'm a Trekker,"
Right.
right? That was like such a '90s thing.
Trekker never really. I don't think Trekker ever really caught on.
Okay, we'll leave.
I'd like to know because people have been calling themselves Trekkies for decades.
But do you think a person that has never watched any Trek watches Discovery or any of the J.J. Abrams stuff and says, "I'm a Trekkie now"?
No.
I think that was a 1990s and maybe
It's
before
been my whole
that.
life. Yeah,
like,
way before
phenomenon of
that.
that.
100%.
Way before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sad, isn't it? We don't have new Trekkies being born anymore.
Well, they just don't know what they are.
No, I think they're all still Trekkies, aren't they? Right? I mean,
But there's not a.
there's
but
no new Trekkies being created, self-identified
I disagree.
in the J.J. Abrams Discovery and beyond. Like the old school stuff, yeah.
Why not? Why not with the new stuff?
That's my question.
Well, I think if you're super into the Star Trek universe, whether it's OG or new, right? Then it's OG Trekkies and new generation Trekkies, but it's still happening, right? You still have little kids growing up, right? Emulating the
there?
characters. Yes, we have to believe this. Yes, of course. And there's the Star Trek conventions are still really popular.
But we
and-
got to get to a convention, y'all.
We do.
We do.
We need to take this show on the road.
Yeah.
We've never been to a convention.
Not a Star
I don't
Trek
know why we're even
convention.
doing this
I've
podcast.
I've never been to a Star Trek
No, I
convention.
haven't either.
This is like
I haven't either.
very embarrassing for us, and I feel like we should not have revealed that.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
They're going to take
we have
our,
no
Did,
shame.
and
We have
we're
no
not going to
shame.
edit it out because we're too
No,
lazy.
because we're too lazy.
So one of the things that really struck me with this documentary is just how much of an amazing time capsule it is of the late 1990s.
Oh, it's so
So
crazy.
good.
It
And it's
looks-
a 1990s that I don't remember.
Why don't
no,
you?
my memory is completely different.
Wait, why don't you?
I remember the 90s being way more
Way-
normal
And cooler.
than
Way
than the
cooler.
way this is portrayed.
I don't.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, even down to like not so much like the Star Trek outfits. That's a whole other thing. But even just like the normal outfits.
the normal
like-
and the hair and the.
yeah, I just
That
don't
was-
really remember
that
it
was
being.
not. It was
that.
not.
Well,
that was
you
not
were-
my experience.
When you guys were in it, it all felt cool and leading edge,
but we
and
didn't-
now it
but we
looks very
didn't-
dated.
we didn't look like that.
Well,
We were.
Are you sure you didn't?
Yeah, no, we were surly. We were surly goth kids. So
Well,
Yeah,
it does make
definitely.
you
It's a
cooler.
different-
Actually, I don't even want to know what some of my. I'm so glad I don't have pictures of what I looked like back then. Actually.
Okay,
and the
but were
outfits I wore.
you goth in the 90s?
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
I just had a goth girlfriend.
Yeah, that counts. I, didn't
I
have
know
a
she
goth
was dragging me to
girlfriend.
these like legit goth balls in San Francisco.
So much fun.
I was like
Ugh.
19 years old. Like, whoa,
Oh,
what the
so
like
cool.
ginormous rooms of like industrial music that was like really heavy, like not
Mhm.
even very danceable.
Mhm.
Still though. Oh,
I guess
sounds like such a good time.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I wish you guys were there. It was so boring. I
Oh.
wish you were there.
Yeah, we would have had a great time.
All that and a goth girlfriend.
All right.
I-
So I thought this was a very inspirational movie.
How so? Explain
Crickets. Because you see how Star Trek brings people together. It creates a safe place for people to be weird and on the fringe and not normal, in quotes, everyone who's just listening. And, lots of like LGBTQ plus folks sprinkled in, I've got to assume, even back then. And
We're
neurodivergent, even though we weren't using that word.
non-binary.
Yeah,
or-
all the things.
That wasn't even a term at the
Any
time.
term, no. But it opens it all up because Trek, they do refer to like, Michelle Nichols and Kirk having the first interracial kiss on TV, and how Whoopi Goldberg was inspired by
That
that.
Whoopi Goldberg story that Nichelle Nichols tells about Whoopi Goldberg seeing Nichelle Nichols on Star Trek and go, Mama, come here. What's it? There's a black woman on TV that's not a maid.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it was
that's
so
so cool.
intense. Yeah.
And then there were like, there's like a woman that
Such a
wrote.
legend.
Who's the other guy? Not Scotty, but the other. Is it Scotty?
Oh yeah, Walter Koenig is they interviewed him
It's
a
like
lot.
a suicidal woman that wrote him, and he
Yeah,
said,
that was
Oh,
James Doohan.
James
Yeah.
Doohan.
Keep
Yeah,
coming
Scotty. That
Scotty,
was
yeah.
an amazing story. You had heard that story before, right? I had never heard that.
She was
story
like a
before.
suicidal woman, and she said, I don't want, I want to kill myself. And he's like, just come to the convention. And then
Mhm.
then she kept writing, and he said, keep coming to this one, come to this one. And then
Mhm.
she just kind of found
Just
something in that.
Disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then disappeared.
Disappeared, and then wrote him back 8 years later and said what she was doing
just
fine.
basically thank you for like what you
Yeah.
did for me.
Saving
Was
your
that
life,
was that bridge that I needed to
Yeah.
climb my way out of the hole eventually. I mean, and that's what I was telling Commander Too Far last night, was that it must have been like super intense. Like they talk about, Sulu Wright talks about the very first Star Trek convention, and they're expecting it's going to be like 40 or 50 people, and they're like, come, we'll fly you guys out here, get you a
Oh,
hotel,
yeah.
you need to sign some autographs,
This was in the 70s.
right? And then they step out, and there's more than a thousand people there.
Yeah, I think
And
they
just
said like 3,000
this
people.
wall of
Bunch of people outside
side-
that couldn't even get in.
Yeah, they had the fire marshal, the fire department come and help rotate people in and out, and they were just so unprepared for, like, Leonard Nimoy described it as this emotional wall of sound. And I thought that was, or wall of emotional sound. I thought that was really
Yeah.
intense. I'm like,
Yeah. And they like kept thinking it will die down next year, but it just kept growing.
just
bigger
growing and
bigger.
growing, and
Just shows how much like love people have for the show and the characters and all the cosplay and just
There's
how people
something
get
special
so
about
into
it.
it. It's very special. People get so into it. It's a whole immersive world where you can dream up like this world where there's not poverty, and everyone's
everybody's
getting
equal
along.
and-
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing.
I would agree, and a lot of the people that really got into it, especially the ones that were featured, they were because they, you don't feature the casual people, you feature the people that are like super into it, like, and they're clearly inspired. It's affecting every facet of their lives,
Yeah.
right? The first one that comes to mind is the short gal that Commander, correct? Yeah, she works in a paper shop or something like a
heavy machinery.
doing reprographics type work, like Kinko, like an old school Kinko's type thing. And everyone in the office calls her Commander, and she had her 15 minutes of fame, which lasted more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, she was a juror on the Watergate trial.
Was it? It wasn't
No,
Watergate. Couldn't
Should
have
have
been.
been-
One
no, that
of
would
It was
have
something
been
big.
Nixon.
It was some. It was
No.
actually I don't even know
No,
what trial
no,
that
it
was.
Yeah, it wasn't Watergate, because that.
But it was
that
some
was
trial that
Nixon.
lasted for a while. Something that the president was actually going to be involved with. It might have been. It might have actually been. It couldn't have been that.
Let me look it up. Keep talking.
Okay, but anyways, and she wore her Starfleet uniform, next gen Starfleet uniform, to be a juror to court.
Whitewater.
Whitewater.
Whitewater. Yeah, it was close.
That was a Clinton thing, right?
Yeah.
That was the Clinton property scandal.
Okay.
Wasn't that what that one
Yeah,
was?
the
all
real
about?
estate.
I knew it
the
had
real
water
estate
in it.
scam.
Yeah. I vaguely remember this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she wanted to be an inspiration for others by living true to her kind of like her role in the little community that they had of Star Trek fans that all go, okay, so there's like a whole, we need to get into this part of it. Because I didn't even know that this was a thing. I don't know if this still exists, but apparently back then, different regions were broken up into ships, right?
Within her town or what?
Yeah, so different towns would be like Starship, blah, blah, blah. And
Okay.
maybe it's named after the town, maybe it has a different name or whatever. And then the fans in that area, they build a community and they get together, and they each take on a role,
Yeah, a command role.
a
or
command
something.
role, or come up with a name or character or whatever for themselves. And they're not necessarily like acting out things like like, oh, we're gonna do, we're all gonna pretend we're on the ship. It's more of just like an organizational structure, kind of like how Star Wars has the 501st. That's like a cosplay group that reaches out across the nation. It's the same kind of thing with the Star Trek groups, and she was, I don't know if like fully in charge, but one of the leaders,
Commander.
of her regional Star Trek group.
Right.
And she wanted everyone to feel comfortable being who they are, expressing themselves, whatever. So she wore her uniform all the time, and then figured, if I can wear it any other place, there's no reason why I shouldn't be allowed and comfortable wearing my uniform doing this, even though it's an official civic duty. And so she did it, and that got her a lot of attention. And she was super humble about it. I actually thought that was kind of rad.
It was interesting, and she, they did a lot of community service, so I think she was thinking of it like, I'm not trying to be like a Star Trek character. I'm like the commander of this club. We do community service. I'm wearing the uniform that represents this club, and that's how she like legitimized this.
She really
for the
saw
juror,
herself
for the
as an
jury.
officer, though, just in her general life. Like she was.
But
And
for the
essentially
club,
she-
though.
Yeah.
For the club.
No, even outside of the club, like she had created for herself this like internal persona, right? Where, yet I am legitimately, living the life of this Star Trek commander, and I embody these qualities. And I mean, she had her phaser at strapped on her hip at work,
And her tricorder.
and her tricorder, and her community.
I mean, I think that she thinks. Yes, I think that she was very deeply
Very
engrossed in
meshed,
this. But I
yeah.
think as far as like being on that jury, she just justified it like very logically. Like this
she
is
said
the,
it,
this
yeah.
is the uniform for my
She
club.
did. She said, "Why would I take it off?
Yeah.
That's as
So
part of
I
my role
agree.
as an officer."
I agree that she was embodying the values. I don't think she was necessarily like LARPing every shit where she went,
I do.
because she was doing her job. She was getting her.
Yeah, it's a slippery
Yeah.
slope
I
when
mean,
you're wearing a tricorder, the toy tricorder.
So interesting thing about that. Talk about the 90s, right? She had the phaser and all that stuff. Walked right into the courthouse and into the courtroom. There ain't no way
nobody did
that's
these
happening
days.
now.
I know.
No.
Even though a phaser looks nothing like a gun, there's no way they would
No.
let you.
Gosh, some cons they won't even let you have plastic prop weapons anymore.
Even
these
at cons,
days.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How-
That is so funny that she was on that big trial, though. Isn't that like
It was
just,
a
like,
huge trial.
the funniest synchronicity? Or
And I remember
odd
that
event.
trial happening, but I don't remember the story
yeah,
of there being a Star Trek person. I mean, I would think that I would have known
Yeah.
about this.
yeah.
I
I
don't
didn't know
know.
about it till I did watch it. 23 years ago. So
But I mean, like, that made her life, right? She will always have that, right? Those memories of, like,
yeah,
walking out there, and there's all these news cameras of the world, and everybody wants to get a picture of her and talk to her, talk to the the girl in the Star Trek uniform on the jury trial. And I
But
mean,
she found it annoying
that people
No.
were asking.
Yeah.
everybody says that.
because she was
is
like,
secretly
I had to walk
happy.
around them to get into the thing.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
secretly happy.
She was a character, man.
All these people were.
Is she
so
still alive?
I didn't
Did you
find
ever find
out.
out? No.
Well, if
Can
you're
we-
still out there, Commander, we respect you.
Hell yeah,
I don't even know
Commander.
her name, but yeah,
Let's go.
shout out. Hope you're still wearing the uniform.
Yeah, wearing that phaser with pride.
What about the dentist?
I was gonna say we have to talk
Oh,
about
the
talk
dentist.
about the couple, the
Okay.
married dental couple.
You want to go?
Yeah, go for it.
So some Star Trek obsessed dentist, which I think it was a cool idea. He wanted to portray the kinder, gentler side of dentistry, and he felt like that Star Trek was the bridge to healthy gums, and so he opened his private dental practice, and like every square inch of the inside of this building, it was filled with Star Trek memorabilia. But he didn't stop there. Oh no. He was also in full uniform. His office assistants were also strong-armed into wearing the uniform. And then he married a woman, and and
Which in itself is amazing that even happened.
that even
That they found each other.
Yes, but they're the right kind of kink.
Kink. Whoa,
Whoa,
what do you mean?
whoa. We're
hey,
not there
hey.
yet.
Oh, come on. No?
We're not there yet,
Nice.
Shell.
But that's my.
Let's go back. Okay, we're
okay,
gonna get to that.
beep, beep,
Let's
beep.
go back. I was thinking, there's no way in hell I would go to a dentist like this. There's no way he could be good at dentistry.
I was
with
thinking
his head's
Chris's
filled
parent-
with so much other shit. It's like, really? Do you have your mind on my teeth and how to do dentistry properly, or are you just so crazy?
Really? Oh, I would love it.
that like,
It
I've
would
got
put me at ease.
I've got some serious tending to that I need
yeah.
of my
And you have
teeth.
to just think about.
I cannot imagine anybody in that
Really?
office is doing very He's
It'll
just
be
like, whatever, yeah, just let's put that poster there, cut out over there.
No,
Let's keep tweaking the office decor. Yeah,
he would have my
patience,
business for life. It would be.
I think I would try to dress up as a Ferengi and, go in with the Ferengi teeth.
just to mess with him.
And then
that would
see
be
if one of his assistants would umox
they
while
would-
he's digging in there.
Oh
and
my god, that would be his dream come true.
it
To have
Yeah,
a
Umox
patient
over
like
Miami.
that, to have like a weird ass patient like that come in.
Yeah.
Never leave me. So now the sex part.
Sure, Shell.
So did y'all? They were, and poor Denise.
Denise Crosby.
Denise is having to interview this couple, and like it's all fine and dandy, and still until one of them starts. They talk about how it's the wife. I think that we even wear the dress up at home sometimes, and then she says, and he likes me to dress up as Quark and Data. And I'm like, and then it cuts, like
You-
Did
Yeah.
they say that any of them dress up as Tasha Yar?
No,
Okay.
she said that her husband makes her
no.
dress up like Quark and Data.
I want to say yes.
I thought so
Somebody did
too.
mention that, and it might have been.
As dressing up as Tasha.
Yeah, it might have
Yeah.
been the dentist couple.
And that's what made her so uncomfortable. She's
But-
like, oh.
Oh, also
okay.
squeaky.
Yeah, 'cause
Says,
she said
they're
she-
not paying me nearly enough.
I actually got a different impression. I got the impression that she was into it,
What?
but
No.
yeah,
No.
but she almost let it slip.
Oh, the wife was into it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Not
Um,
Tasha.
Yeah, no. I'm not talking about Denise
Yeah.
Crosby.
Oh, the wife was totally into it.
Yeah, when she was talking about how they wear different outfits, and she's too short to play Yar or in some other
Right.
characters, so she gets dressed up as Quark, and then you can see it in her face. She catches herself, and like her husband's looking at her,
Don't do it.
and she stops because she's just about to divulge
Yeah, something kinky.
a little bit too much,
Yeah.
and it's like she
Yeah.
might as well have just said it.
Yeah.
Because it's so transparent
Yeah.
with the way she's talking. I found that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
you
wrong.
guys are reading into this. They've got kids.
No,
Maybe
she
the
really-
whole
she-
family likes to dress
Yeah,
up and just
yeah.
do like fun
No.
cosplay nights.
The kids were not into it.
Those poor kids
know,
look
those-
like they look
yeah.
like a hostage video.
Because-
each
because
each
also
one of them
the-
so miserable.
the uniforms they're wearing, I was
Oh my
telling
gosh.
Captain Too Far upstairs, they're like very 90s and like baggy and like unflattering. So the kids
Really
are just
thick
wearing
material.
these like
They
yeah,
look
like
like they're
thick
visibly in
polyester.
pain.
Yeah, it looks like it's just really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like you're wearing like something your mother put you in for church
Oh
or
my
something.
god! Or like a homemade costume that your
yeah,
mom made.
yeah, that doesn't breathe. And
Why-
everyone's it was so weird, wasn't
they're-
it?
It was weird, and I've always wondered this because it's very common. It's better today. I think people have gotten better skills-wise as far as crafting cosplay type outfits, but for a long time, it seemed like I don't know if like Hollywood had special access to fabrics that nobody else could buy,
Yeah.
but like, no one was able to
So
reproduce.
they got the same quality. Yeah.
Even today, they're not even able to reproduce even like the old school Star Trek shirts, like what Spock's wearing, that look like the original show very well, and certainly not the TNG stuff.
No.
The one that's closest is that era of Kirk when they're wearing kind of the tunic, the cotton tunics, whatever, because those are kind of made out of like a normal, clothing material. But any of the spandexy stuff,
Same thing with the dresses. Yeah.
they all looked horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just picking it up at like a Joann's Fabrics. They're not really probably ordering stuff that's more
I don't know.
industrial.
And you could tell, like, some of those people went deep. I mean, like,
Yeah, it's not like the
Sure.
craftsmanship was bad. I mean, they're putting a lot of effort into it and a lot of detail and this and that, whatever. But as soon as they put it on, it's like the fit just isn't right. The
Yeah.
material's
I think
not
the
right.
material's not right, and the fit's like way too baggy. That was kind of the '90s style,
Yeah, maybe.
but the fabric's off for sure.
And it's not like very many. I mean, let's be honest. It's not like very many of, at least in that time, for the people that they showed on the documentary. We're not talking about people that stay fit, right?
No, I mean,
Fill out the uniforms.
it depends. Like that kid was pretty fit. Let's go to the uniform kid.
Uniform kid. Speaking of, okay, so costumes.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was very particular.
So he's like this.
About
He's
his
like
costume.
14, high school kid. His dad's really sweet. Takes him to all these conventions. He's been to like 30 conventions or something like that. And
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 he's
he
kind of a
was,
big
like-
deal in his local Star
yeah,
Trek
he was.
group,
Yeah,
too.
he was part of those local chapter Star Trek group. He did like some kind of high tech rendering of ships on his computer. Kind of a techie kid.
That was.
Did
I wanted to
models.
Yeah.
talk about that. That was so
For the
impressive.
90s?
It actually
Holy
was for back
crap.
then.
Like wow.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope he went on to have a career
Yeah,
in special
something
effects.
amazing.
I would love to look him up and
Go
see
to
if
MIT.
he's
Yeah,
gone-
ended up at
Yeah.
MIT and
Really smart kid.
changed the world.
But yeah, he had a couple uniforms made for him by hand.
Yeah, and
That were-
specifically, it was for his own project. He had written a screenplay,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
and that's what the ship designs were for, is special effects for their own. I wonder if that ever got made. I would love to watch it if it ever
yeah,
actually
we should
got
try
made.
To find it.
So he designed uniforms specific for this thing that they were making.
It's like a B movie of them.
Yeah, fan-
their own. Yeah,
yeah,
fan
fan film,
movie of
yeah.
their own with their own script. Yeah.
And so he was talking through when he did his first test fitting of the thing. He was telling Denise Crosby about what works and what didn't, and what he'd like to change. And
Very, very, very nitpicky on this uniform.
yeah, almost it comes off as being, you could almost think of it as being a little bit rude. Like, hey, somebody just made this thing for you, and it's like
Sure.
you're already picking it apart. Like, come on, man. But
Yeah, as one does when they
but
need it to be
he
right.
had a vision. He had a specific
yeah,
vision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And and he was super into the whole con thing and trades and purchases and all these things.
Made
and
me really want to go to a convention, right? All the stuff.
I used to go to comic book conventions, like the Portland Comic Con, but I never went to a specific Star Trek one.
You're going to have to bite the bullet.
Vegas. Let's go
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
awesome.
that would be super fun.
I know that would be fun.
So, how
yeah.
about the guy?
Well,
sorry.
before we move on, I also want to give us just a little bit of a special shout out to Uniform Kid's dad,
Oh yeah.
who built a shuttlecraft kind of thing
Oh, yeah.
on the back of their pickup truck.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And that was going to be and he just built it because he loved it. And then when the kid was going to get his driver's license, they were going to hand it off.
That was sweet. He was a really good dad.
Yeah, he was just totally supportive. Clearly is into it as well.
Right. Yeah.
Probably turned his kid onto it, yeah, totally.
turned his kid into it, and
Very
all that kind
wholesome.
of super wholesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike
Unlike the dentist, what we are assuming the dentist is
Yeah.
like behind
Well, like-
closed doors.
Dun, 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 dun. But I mean, what great memories for that kid to have of looking back on his childhood with, and times with his dad and
hanging out with
Being
Denise
into-
Crosby for a document. I mean, how
Does it
badass
get
is
better
that?
than that?
Yeah, the
I never
torture-
got that.
Torture, absolute torture.
What were you gonna say? You were gonna
I
bring
mean, it was
something
just
else
it's just really a blip. I'm really would like to know more about the guy who sent a different catalog or menu or description of his meal to Voyager. So Voyager, right? Every day
up.
they got a new piece of
Oh.
mail from this guy.
It
From
it wasn't just Voyager.
or you said to Star Trek.
Star Trek.
That's
so
right.
the production and sent it to the production
Yeah.
studio for like 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
Every day.
Every
Just
day.
random
single
stuff.
day.
It would be like, like a catalog from, Bob's Music Emporium in Philadelphia, and the next one would be a menu, and then the next one would be a description of what he'd eaten, whoever had eaten for lunch, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I
kind
have
of
so
like
many
That
questions.
seemed unhealthy.
I seem to have
definitely
so many
seemed
questions.
unhealthy, but it's like you can see where Star Trek creates something in people where they want to
connection,
connect.
exactly.
They want to connect, yeah.
That was the way that person could connect. I'm like, okay, I
was
just
back-
I like the randomness of it all.
Yeah, it was back before the internet, you know.
Snail
Yeah.
mail was still a thing.
Yeah.
And then certainly with at least the people that they were showing on the documentary that were going to the conventions and doing all these like super into it, having the clubs and like the meetups and all this kind of stuff. Everyone was some level of like a little divergent, right?
Yeah.
A atypical
Yeah.
in terms of like either not so much not intelligence. 'Cause obviously they're all smart people, but like just thinking about things differently, like whether maybe on spectrum a little bit or attention or just kind of like social anxiety or like any of these kinds of things, and like Star Trek being the glue that like
the centering,
kind of bringing
centering
them all
energy.
together.
Yeah.
And several of them even made comment to the fact that, unlike other parts of our culture, because I remember even there was those gals that were even saying our culture is not very progressive, but here we are, we're able to do this thing, and like everybody's welcome and all these things, and like it doesn't matter, you know, race, creed, orientation, you know, however. And I guess that gets back to the inspirational thing.
It is very inspirational. Yeah.
And it just,
The world needs more of that, I think.
things were
does.
way more conservative back then as well. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, so it really shows like how it created a culture that you could say kind of like moved forward this what type of thinking, I don't know, like kind of a forward thinking or a more inclusive ideology, you know, which really goes back to Gene Roddenberry and also his wife, who's what is her name?
Michelle Barrett.
Michelle Barrett.
Yeah, she's interviewed a few times. She's amazing.
She's so awesome. Bones is on there with the most amazing pink aviators ever.
Next time I do the pod, actually in 2 weeks,
I'm
gonna
those?
have those pink aviators with like grandma chain hanging down.
It's gonna be great.
And those are gonna be my inside glasses.
So he tells this story about getting this delivery, this fan delivery, and he implies it's a nudie pic, and a J, along with this note that said, "You've turned me on so many times, I thought I'd turn you on for once."
I'd return the favor.
Yeah, return the favor.
And by Jay, he specifically said a marijuana cigarette.
I was trying to avoid.
he?
I was trying
He
to
did.
avoid the YouTube censor.
A
Did he say?
marijuana
Did he say a
cigarette.
marijuana cigarette?
Yeah.
The
Well, I didn't
the
want people
devil's-
confused as to what Jay meant.
That's why I was trying to be, subtle.
Well, yeah, that really stood out to him.
Yeah, that was
And-
his big takeaway from.
And he kept it. He said he kept it. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
one of the fan things that he kept.
Yeah.
So funny.
But he didn't say whether he
Partook in
partook
the
in
devil's
the-
lettuce.
Jay.
Yeah.
The J.
So let's move on. What do you have? What's next here?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, like, well, we've talked about inclusivity, LGBT community.
Yeah, there was like a
Which
trans.
at
we
the
say
time
there's a
it wasn't.
trans
There was no
woman.
T at the time. It was just the LGBT community. As far as like,
Okay.
it just wasn't really. It just wasn't part of the lexicon.
It must have been.
I mean, obviously the people existed, but it wasn't part of the. That was later.
Oh yeah. It was.
That was more of a 2000s thing. Is when that kind of started to evolve.
Okay. I don't know. I've got to look that up, but I don't have time. I don't have time right now. I'm busy.
That's how
I'm
I-
busy doing a podcast right now.
That's how I remembered it, anyways.
Okay.
So what I'm curious about, because it felt like a blip and I missed it. There was a guy who was clearly cross-dressed.
Or just a trans woman.
It seemed more like a guy.
We're talking about the one that did the filking.
which
What's
sounds
that?
dirty,
What is filking?
Filking.
but it's not. I promise you, it's not dirty.
He was the filker.
Yeah, he was a
He was a
What is
total
that?
filker. It's the science fiction folk music singing. You remember the guy?
You were horrified for a second, like where's this going?
Because you guys were talking about frothing on our last
Frothing.
episode
Yeah.
Shell
and
got frothy.
Goopy. I got gooey.
with your cappuccino machine.
Right, exactly.
So,
The filking. He was,
Yeah.
he
So-
was a filker.
okay, folk
So
music,
Is it-
Star
it's
Trek
the-
folk music,
yeah,
cringe,
it's the-
very cringe.
It's super cringe.
Science fiction
know.
folk. And then,
And-
but they didn't even learn the words to the song. Sorry. Sorry.
He did sing the song.
But he didn't learn the words.
She.
She?
Yeah.
They.
Fair enough.
They.
Fair enough.
I'll just go with either way. But they sang a song, but they didn't learn the words to it first.
That's true.
That was fun.
Well, she.
We're
They.
gonna have to edit this out.
No.
No, we're
'cause
trying. Yeah, I'm not. I don't.
What I was curious to learn or to know is if either one of you knew more of the backstory, because I kind of missed, because there was something about fuck. The process was started to cosplay as a certain character, and then changed to be the unknown, unseen wife of that character. And I'm not even sure what character was the origin of it.
See, I missed that bit. Was that?
But then this person that they were interviewing is pretty much not seen at all.
Just a couple of times.
There's just a couple of
times,
quick,
yeah.
short things besides the attempted singing, and then that's it.
So what are you saying?
Well, I'm wondering
Well, I
if you know more of the backstory.
I don't.
I don't, but I do. I did feel like that. That the way that they edited, and I'm just going to use the pronoun they because I don't.
Because I'm not sure.
Right, exactly.
All
So
right.
we'll just go with they.
All right.
I felt like that they were included in the way that they edited them into the whole movie was purposely meant to be mocking and when that where that person was concerned.
It had a little bit of a different tone.
It
to
did. It did.
I have
It
no
did.
idea.
And then they tried to sing that song, but they didn't learn the words, and so it was just like.
I was just on the ride of Trekkies. I had no idea. There's
Yeah.
so many things coming at me,
Sorry.
from all directions.
It was
I didn't
very-
know
it was very
I didn't know what was
stimulating.
coming in and what was going out.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. That's a different movie.
So on that note, let's talk about Spiner Femmes.
Please.
Oh, the Spiner Femmes.
Please.
Yes. Yes. Wow, they were
So
intense.
Ren,
Yes.
I feel like you know the answer to this.
Oh, I do. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Tell us what a Spiner Femme.
A Spiner Femme is like an obsessive female identified groupie of Brent Spiner, who plays Data on TNG.
With,
Is that good?
That's great. Now, what do they do?
They go to conventions. They take like 1 million photos
Oh
of
my
Brent
gosh,
and put them
so
in
many
binders, and then flip through them, and
Yeah.
you're like, why do you need 50 photos of him in
Just
the same position,
same pose? Yeah.
Why? And
Yeah.
then what else do they do? I don't know what they do in their spare time.
a-
I don't want to
the
know.
fanfic.
I really don't wanna
adventures.
You don't remember the gal talking about the
fan
fanfic?
fiction?
Yeah.
Was it barely? I don't know.
In fact, well, I don't know if it was a Spiner Femme to be
Right.
Maybe I'm remembering. Maybe I'm mixing things up. But there was one.
It was the kinky art.
But that's
that
later.
was a different. Yeah.
She was anonymized, like you see in the old like the movies where it's like, or the the witness that's gonna be killed if they speak out, so they change the voice, and it's just a
Oh,
silhouette,
that's
You
right.
need to
That's
be closer.
right.
You're getting far back.
I'm just all animated.
Oh.
So there's the
Yeah, it was
The
their
secret-
identity was hidden.
yeah,
it was a
they
hidden identity.
She had to have her identity hidden.
and you could only see the outline of the person, and then they used a voice disguiser. Remember?
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were writing
All right.
It
So
was
this is like this
that's
thing.
the dirty fanfic.
This thing
Yeah.
I don't know if they do this on TV anymore because I haven't watched cable for like 20 years.
Yeah, me neither.
So long.
But it would be like
yeah.
on 60 Minutes type of thing.
Right,
Where it would be like a
exactly.
shadow of a person and then their voice
And the
is
voice
all
is disguised,
weird
yeah.
and you're like,
No,
are talking so
no,
strangely to
no,
disguise
right.
the voice.
I can't even. Who was that? I couldn't even tell that was you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
That's what
That's
happens.
exactly how it works.
So there was a Spiner Femme that didn't want to disclose her obsessive
I'm
Spiner
not even
Femme
sure she was a
identity.
Spiner Femme, or she was just into Star Trek, naughty Star Trek fan fiction.
I think that might be the case. I think that they're distinct.
But I think that's so funny if you think about today versus 1997, and I think there's a lot more.
Edit this out.
There's no editing.
There's no editing.
This podcast is raw.
Can I give
Went
you
down
mouth?
the wrong
Can I give you mouth
the
to
wrong
mouth?
pipe, which is really bad timing.
Are you feeling feverish? Mouth to mouth now?
We're gonna have to edit all this.
No.
It's all right. I
Okay.
believe in you. I remember
Very
I
professional.
choked on the last episode, so it's yeah.
Chris
So
is
no,
gonna
I'm not
choke
sure
next.
she was a Spider femme. I think that she just wrote. Anyway, my point was that
No.
back then, admitting publicly that you write sexy Star Trek fan fiction required a whole 2020 disguise effects versus today.
Well,
People were like, "What do you do in your spare time?" And well, I write naughty adventures about Data and Captain Kirk.
To
Touching
some
each
degree.
other's
I kind of
tips
understand that. I mean, like,
and
I
stuff.
was talking about disclosing my identity for this podcast.
Oh wait.
Why? What would
What?
you be? What would you have to worry
Oh,
about?
Hey, yeah. I
Just
feel like
my-
now we're getting somewhere.
Just maybe not everyone in my life, facets of my life, knowing
Oh,
that.
that's right. Should we change your voice?
Can you change my face too? Can we black me out
it's
and
too-
change my voice?
It's too late.
Is there an AI software
You
that
have a little
will run the video?
a little
through
black
that?
box over you.
Just a
I wasn't here.
I was never here.
a yellow smiley face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So amazing.
Oh my gosh. It's just things have changed that much. I mean, I know more than one person that does naughty fan art and fan fiction, and they're all
yeah,
like
but you don't
loud
know
and
them
proud
like
about it.
professionally. Like you didn't meet them, say, at work or something.
Well, no, my point is that people are less, in the closet about that sort of thing. They just, it's
Yes
just
and no. I mean, there's still a lot of. I mean, there's more of that kind of stuff being produced because you have
maybe
all these
regionally though, right?
different webs. That's exactly
Sure.
Yeah.
Down south versus here.
Well, and I was going to mention that where the gals specifically that were talking about how non-progressive culture is and how they have to kind of be careful about
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
have to, and get home to play house. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Given their accents, I think that was somewhere
Southern.
southern. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's totally different dynamic and dichotomy and
Right.
expectations, especially back then.
Totally.
Yeah, and that's part of. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's part of what kind of skewed some of my perception of people's perceptions of culture at the time. Is growing up here in the Northwest, mostly in Portland, where things have always been a little more progressive, almost just behind San Francisco in terms of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Kind
Houston
of
was that way
progressive ways.
for me too. Yeah,
So-
and you were.
Yeah, I was in the Bay Area. In
So yeah,
California.
all of us.
Yeah, very progressive.
Mm.
Yeah, I just didn't really think about it at the
Right.
time.
Yeah, because I mean, there's some pretty liberal ideas in Star Trek. So, I mean, it's maybe kind of like this safely umbrellaed in Star Trek. So someone could say, "I'm a fan of Star Trek," and people that are super bigoted would kind of leave you alone. But if you just came out with these ideas on their own, it wouldn't be good.
Mm.
Maybe.
know? Maybe in some small towns.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have the birthplace of James T. Kirk.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah,
the
in
parade.
Canada.
3,000 to 6,000 people.
Was it in Canada?
I'm pretty sure
Three
it
to
was in Canada.
6,000 people show up for the. Pretty sure it was Canada, wasn't it? In
No,
British
no.
Columbia.
It wasn't.
It's in
No.
BC.
No, it was in like Ohio or
Yeah.
something.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Iowa or Ohio.
Oh, you're
Iowa.
right, because it's the birthplace. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
just milked that for
they
like,
didn't even
tourism.
Yeah,
Basically.
because at the time, lore-wise, somewhere along the lines, Kirk mentioned that he was born in Iowa or something. I don't even know. Obviously, I don't even know where that is. I had it all wrong. But the town just decided we're going to be that town and just made it up.
Yeah, just made up all on
And
their
then
own.
just
And they
started-
capitalizing on it.
Started
Really?
changing things.
Star Trek
I
Salon.
thought that it was a
and
real reference to a real town.
Star
No.
Trek Diner. No, they just
they
decided
said, we're it
some OG
and
yeah,
ran with it.
yeah,
That's
and then
awesome.
turned it into this huge thing for the moneymaker for the whole town.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of McMinnville in Oregon that had like one alien abduction
Yeah,
story,
which-
and the whole there's an alien festival like
Yeah.
every year there.
One
Oh,
big,
really?
Big
Yeah.
I
Sasquatch.
didn't know about
We
that.
should go. It's happening soon.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
even know
like,
that was
I
a
like
thing.
aliens.
It's like an hour away.
I live a very sheltered life, apparently.
I'm not even from here.
Did you
I'm
guys?
Californian.
I didn't know that there was a Star Trek cruise before we watched Trekkies.
Girl, yes, you did. I told you.
Well, yeah,
it's like
recently
ground
we knew.
recently, but I mean,
Okay.
But prior to that, like,
Yeah.
because they make mention of the Star Trek cruise in this documentary.
Yeah.
So this Star Trek cruise has been happening for almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's been happening a long time.
Well, yeah,
Like, huh.
we're really late to the party.
I'm a part of the Star Trek Facebook group, so there's always people like recently, like last month, coming back with photos like
From the cruise.
with all like a lot of the characters. Like Jadzia Dax was there. I think like William Riker, whoever that guy is, Jonathan Frakes was there.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes. He has such a great voice.
Yeah.
So what about the Pike chair guy?
The part you're talking about, the one of the mobile life support suit, the shoot guy.
Yeah. So he's the guy that went to Radio Shack.
Yeah, back in the
Yeah.
day, now that brought me back to like
Me
going
too.
with my dad to Radio Shack.
Yeah.
And the guy. What's funny is he asked for his regular. Is Joe here?
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
Joe's not here.
Joe's not
Joe's
here.
just nerding out with him all the time.
And so then there's this other guy who clearly didn't want to be
Did
there.
not
Did
wanna
not
be
want to
there.
be on camera.
No.
Did not want to be
Did
talking
not.
to this guy.
No, he just sees like this.
Gave no shits about whatever the
Yeah.
f this guy is
any
building.
chance of him,
Totally.
basically any chance of the guy ever getting a date was going right out the window.
Yeah.
That was
Fair.
the look he had on his face.
He's like, "What do you think? Can I use the yellow resistors or the red resistors?"
And the guy's just like,
"I
"Just
don't
get
fucking
out.
care. Just buy
Just-
some shit and get the
Just
fuck out."
Get out of here. Please.
So good.
Think of my loins.
And so he basically builds a lot of weird stuff that's Trek-like for no good reason. But there was like, I guess, an episode where Kirk or Pike is in a life support chair that like
It looks like a,
surrounds him, so it's just a little head popping
it's
up.
like a Dalek. It looks like a Dalek.
It's from the Menagerie, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do a whole episode on the Menagerie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you
gonna have
watch
to
it,
watch
I haven't
it.
seen it.
and we're
It's
gonna.
good. It's good.
We'll go through all that. But that's where that's from. And so at first I'm like, who is this guy? Why do I care about this guy or
Right.
whatever? But
His-
then
his
they
little
finally
head
started
poking
showing
out.
some of the things that he was building. It's like, oh, he actually makes things.
What else did he make?
Because that's what it was. Because props and things like that light up and whatever. Because they showed his drawing. It's like, here's my drawing of Nomad.
Oh, it
from
was like
Classic
a
Trek.
it was like
And
a
looked
stick
like
figure.
It looked like a kindergartner drew it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, that's a really great
Yeah,
diagram
dude,
there,
yeah.
bud.
He had one that was all crumpled up.
But then it showed his kind of workshop, and you can see like, oh, he's actually making
Yeah,
stuff.
he's
like,
legit.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Your drawings are bad, but that means most of it's in your head.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
just kind of making stuff. It's like, okay,
He's
I get
just
it.
cruising around his neighborhood in the life sports suit.
Yeah.
Just
Great.
like his little head poking
pretty cool.
out,
Yeah, good for that guy.
living his
Yeah.
best life.
That suit is still, they say,
They say
the Pike chair suit is still out there,
Really?
somewhere
going back and forth to the thriftway.
to and fro, looking for the last Radio Shack in North America.
So
so
we have to give some shout out
Yeah.
to Denise Crosby
Oh yeah.
herself.
but especially because of the sex art.
Go ahead.
I mean, how awkward must that have been? You know, the camera cuts and it's like Dana and Tasha, you know,
Yeah.
That's
She
some
made a funny
what did she say?
or he made a funny comment to her. He was like, "They really got my body perfectly." It was like a very sculpted.
That's right. Brent Spiner's like, they captured my loins perfectly. Yeah, my six pack.
But yeah, that is awkward if people are like sending
beating
in
off
like,
to your
well, just doing art like fan art like that
Naughty-
and sending it to you. It's gotta be
naughty
like,
fan
oh
art.
god.
But the fact that she saved it, she's all check it out.
oh,
that was
yeah,
her-
It
it was
like, She had a
hers.
box in her garage.
hers,
or
yeah.
she's-
So that's what's so funny is
I
like,
would have kept it.
you think about these people that are on TV, right? Larger than life, you know, rich, whatever. She had a normal garage like anybody else, and it
Yeah.
was full of boxes, just like anybody else. It was trash, just like anybody else. And so she's like sifting through boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. And bear in mind, she was only on the show for a season and then a few special episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was
Right?
robbed.
Yeah,
Robbed.
She really
but
was.
but
Robbed.
still had such a fan of. Well, in fact, that's why she got the episodes that she did later, is because of the fan response. And still, years later, after from
Yeah.
because she was only from. I mean, this would have been 10 years later
Yeah.
at this point when this was filmed.
She's still like,
Since she left the
amazing.
show. Well, maybe a little bit less than that, but roughly.
Gotta be less than
And
that.
people are still sending her stuff, like the needlepoint
Yeah,
thing,
the
and
needle
it's like
point.
I don't know, that's kind of cool.
It's
we
very
could,
cool.
we could do a whole episode on the morality police riding out to get her fired from
Oh,
next gen.
Yeah, I don't know the story of that, but it's terrible.
We should, yeah,
Seems
maybe we
terrible.
should put that on the idea board. I think that would be a.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it was
write it
it was
down.
a huge scandal.
Yeah,
it was a really big deal.
We could do a
back
whole
then,
episode
yeah.
on real world scandals, real world Star Trek
Oh,
scandals.
yeah.
yeah.
Jadzia Dax will put that one on, too.
Write it down.
And
Terry-
does
Is it
Dax have
Terry,
naughty stories?
Terry Farrell?
Yeah,
Um,
Terry
Her name?
Farrell.
No,
right?
how she, like, got cut from the final season of Deep Space Nine. We need to dig into that one. There's
Yeah.
a couple different stories on that.
We've touched on it briefly.
Yeah, because
but
they replaced her with the other Dax.
Esri.
Esri
Oh,
Dax that
yeah.
Bashir ends
I
up
hated
getting with.
it. Yeah.
She's a cool character.
I
Yeah,
guess.
she's
But-
really cute.
I
She's
really
super
liked,
cute and has her own redeeming qualities for sure, but it's just like bittersweet because it's like she's replacing a great character that nobody,
Yeah, that was
that
super
nobody
hard.
wanted to die by the
Right.
hands of Gul
Oh, that
Dukat.
was so sad.
Super
It
sad.
was so sad.
It's a terrible episode. I always skip that episode. But yeah, Denise Crosby produced this Trekkies and Trekkies 2, which you guys have not seen yet either.
No, we'll get. I think we'll do Trekkies 2 another. Yeah, obviously, and we'll come back to it.
Yeah, but-
I'm looking forward to it. I honestly wasn't sure I was really looking forward to this, but I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
it was great.
so good.
Is there going to be more Bondage Janeway? Because
I don't know.
So Janeway in her interviews, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the actress's name.
Kate Mulgrew.
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
She is Janeway even
In
when
real
she
life.
just
Yeah.
when she just talks.
Yeah, she was just
Yeah.
the whole same demeanor. Like
It was great. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's
paid-
awesome.
They paid her to play herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that makes
She's
sense.
just got-
I've
Yeah.
never. Apparently, she was on Orange is the New Black.
That's right.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
she's
what-
like the
that's what
prison
I was
mama.
saying, yeah.
She's great. She's
Does she act like?
No, she plays a character named Red. I think she's Russian, so she has a really thick Russian accent, and she's totally like prison mom.
Okay.
She's
Well,
really
maybe she was just because she was in uniform on set. Maybe that was just where her headspace was.
Could be.
And
I just think she's a very prim and proper classical woman. That's just kind of who her core personality
love
is. You
Janeway.
know.
I know she's pretty fabulous.
So Denise Crosby produced this thing. Do you think at the time when she said, "Hey, I'm going to work with these people," maybe it was her idea, maybe somebody came to her and said, "Hey, wouldn't it be great if we did a thing?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think she knew what she was getting into when she started interviewing all these people and
No.
all these walks of
no,
life?
No.
No, she looks bewildered. And then when we get into Trekkies 2, she's still bewildered at some of this stuff. Yeah.
But you have to imagine she'd been going to cons and stuff by then, right?
yeah.
but at a con, I mean,
You're
granted,
not as up close and personal
No.
with the weird.
Not with the
No,
fans.
no.
Um,
In fact, these days, I mean, any of the stars, at least maybe not the Star Trek people, but you come up on stage, people cheer, you do your thing, you tell your jokes, you tell your stories, whatever. Then you go to your table and maybe you sign pictures and have a very brief interaction or whatever.
yeah.
It's not
a few
you're not,
seconds.
You're not going to these people's houses,
Right.
No.
And seeing their places of business or
Right.
like, any of those kinds of things and showing like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
is like
This
taking
is
over
ins-
your
yeah,
life.
this is
Like,
insane.
are you
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Do you need?
Okay.
Yeah. Blink
You're
twice
like-
if you need help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, you said something last night that I had never really considered before, and he said Star Trek is the reason for our efforts in the modern space race to get out to the stars,
Partially, it's an influence.
and for the development of the cell phone. And I'm like, I could see as inspiration.
So I think the technology was going to happen regardless
Well,
because
yeah,
that's just the way
sure.
technology
Mm.
works. But I still very much believe that Motorola, when they came out with the Razr, the flip
the
phone,
flip phone.
it was specifically because from Star Trek you flip
Mhm.
the thing and
That's what we called
'Cause all
my
this-
dad's. We called it his Captain Kirk phone.
all the phones prior to that were
Bricks. Yeah.
kind of brickish,
Yeah.
phones, and they got smaller over time. But Motorola really changed the game when they came out with that.
Yeah, that
with
makes
flip phone.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's other technology we might try to create because we saw it on Star Trek. I don't know.
Oh, totally. There's whole research programs diving into how can we move matter from one point to another.
They've successfully transported molecules from one point A to point B. Yeah.
Same
They just
thing
broke
with
another record with that recently.
same thing with thinking about faster than light travel, and if it's actually possible to do a warp bubble or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
God, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, we should do a whole episode on the science of Star Trek.
Yeah, totally.
That would be fun.
I know Neil
Would be
deGrasse
fun.
Tyson's podcast, Star Talk. I think they have a couple, maybe one or two or more episodes of
See, but he's
science
actually
of Star
smart.
Trek. He's actually smart.
Yeah.
He
so
said
maybe we
that-
shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't
No,
do that.
ours will
Well, we
just be
could-
fun because it's
we could
bad.
just talk about it badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
He
we
said
can
that
do
the thing when he watched it back in the day, the thing that he thought would be the most impossible science to figure out was automatic doors opening when you walked up to them.
Oh yeah,
opening
that
and
was
closing doors.
That was the big.
Yeah.
That was the big thing.
That was-
But every
thing.
grocery store has them now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But there are flaws in that sometimes where it's like a character will walk up to the door and it won't open because they'll turn around and talk to somebody. But then when they turn to exit, then the door opens and leaves. So it's very much plot driven when the doors open and close.
Oh yeah.
We'll
oh
be
you mean
getting
oh you
into
mean
this
in the
In the
on
show.
in the show.
Yeah.
In a further episode, we'll be getting into all of this.
We'll have a whole episode on Starship doors.
Make sure to skip that one.
It's gonna be
Anything else that stands out about Trekkies?
Nope, just that it's amazing.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, and you probably haven't, or you haven't watched it in a really long time,
Yeah.
more than likely, if you have seen it, revisit it, watch it for the first time, if
Yeah.
nothing else, to see a point in time in Star Trek history, which really Star Trek was kind of in its prime at that point in
It
time.
really was.
well,
in a
and
lot of
just
ways.
the
For better or worse.
Yeah.
right the the elders of where we ended up now, right? I mean, it's kind of interesting just to starting back in the 60s and here we are, it's 2025 and this show is still in all of its iterations.
It's kind of in the middle, right?
Oh, and you were going to mention the Netflix phenomenon.
What was I going to mention on the Netflix phenomenon?
Something recently that's happened to a beloved Star Trek series.
Oh, streaming. Yes, there was an article. I don't remember who did the article. It was like Screen Rant or I don't know, one of those kind of modern publishing websites. But anyways, they apparently I don't know how they get the data, but I don't know if they did a poll. Anyways, one of the more popular Star Trek shows, or the most popular Star Trek show for streaming,
Mm.
is Voyager. It's not Discovery. It's not Strange New Worlds. It's not Classic Trek. It's not TNG.
This must be on Paramount because none of that's on Netflix.
Right.
Maybe you're
Okay.
right. Maybe it's Paramount.
but yeah,
it's just
Voyager.
more streaming. Yeah.
Yeah, Voyager's
they were
making
really
a comeback. It's making a comeback.
They were really surprised to see that it'd be out.
It's so good though when you go back and watch it, which I recently did.
It's the one I rewatched the most out of
Yeah?
all of them. Yeah.
Huh.
And it's the one that everyone kind of loved to hate when it was on.
Yeah.
And even after it was over, everyone kind of dogged on Voyager. In the early days of the internet and all that, people were,
Interesting.
dogging on Voyager more than any of the others, but yet
Mm.
everyone's kind of like guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's great.
That is great.
I guess it was surprising the big wigs.
And on that note,
No.
Wait, I got a joke.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have that. I have the little.
all right,
thing
shall
I
you
wanted to
go?
read.
Shall you go
first,
first?
Oh, she's gonna warm me
Shall
up.
you go first?
Okay.
Shell's going.
So, some of you may be familiar with Firefly Aerospace. They just recently built a lunar lander and sent it to the moon. Its purpose was to transport commercial payload. And so it did its job. It made it there. And the lunar lander transmitted one final message before it shuts down for eternity. It's up there, not Mare Imbrium. It's another one of the lunar continents. And so it transmitted this message, and I thought it was so neat. In the same vein of how Star Trek has inspired so much imagination and technology and innovation, right? And so it said, mission mode change detected, now in monument mode. Good night, friends. After exchanging our final bits of data, I hold vigil on this spot in Mare Crisium to watch humanity's continued journey to the stars. Here I will outlast your mightiest rivers, your tallest mountains, and perhaps even your species as we know it. But it is remarkable that a species might be unlasted by its own ingenuity. Here lies Blue Ghost, a testament to the team who, with the loving support of their families and friends, built and operated this machine and its payloads to push the capabilities and knowledge of humanity one small step per Astra. Add Astra to the stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it powered itself down. That was it. Game over.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
That's
Right.
nice. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, now tell us something funny.
Okay. Why did Spock bring a ladder to the bar?
Why did Spock bring a ladder to the bar?
I don't know.
He heard the drinks were on the house.
Because you got to get on
Yeah,
the
get a
house.
ladder, yeah.
Really? That's the best we got?
bar in
That
the
was the
house?
best we had.
There's
Wow.
some really bad Star Trek jokes on there.
Gemini can't come up with very good ones, so this was the best of
I
Gemini.
still don't get it. The
doesn't
bar
do
is not
humor.
a house.
I'll bet there's a
Yeah.
book. I'll bet there's a book of Star Trek jokes.
Yeah, send us the book if you guys have it.
Tell us, send us some.
If you want,
Star
if
Trek
you want
jokes.
a joke read,
Yeah,
email us
yeah.
bgn.trekpod
Trekpod
at gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Yeah, we're desperate.
Please, there's so many. I read through like 50 of them before we started filming, and every single one of them was that good. So
Yeah.
we
We're
need.
dry as a bone over here.
Guys,
Ain't no froth in here.
I know froth in here.
All right.
So Trekkies,
right.
Trekkies 1, Trekkies 2 to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.